What is going on YouTube? Brave Dave here, and I'm about to bring to you another online battle. So let's go ahead and watch it. I play as the Langobards and my opponent plays as the Sassanid Empire. And the reason I did this battle is actually I watched Heir of Carthage's preview of the Langobards, and I saw a few units that I actually wanted to try out. Mainly these horse hewers as well as the berserkers. I think they were Godensmen. Can't recall the name right now. So let's actually go ahead and jump into this. I want to apologize for the map. This was, when I saw it, I was like, holy cow, I can't see at all. But let's see if it's better coming from this angle. It is. Alright, so I want to say I have 6 Germanic horsemen, 3 on either side, backed up by a horse hewer. I have my front line of young wolves, so there's 4 of those, 3 Germanic bows, and the reason I always bring cheap bows now in Attila 2 is they're the cheapest units or in Attila, my mistake, not Attila 2, they're the cheapest units you could pretty much get, and bows don't do crap right now against armored units, but what I use them as is baits. I'll put them in the front line to bait a charge, so then I can charge right back. So that's what I'm using it for. I have the 4 Godensmen as my backline, and then my general, which is just a Germanic noble. So when I saw my opponent's build, I saw he was overstacked on one side with cav, 5 units. So I went ahead and moved 5 units of cav to that side, as well as kept 1 on the other, just in case he did anything with his crossbow cav there. Again, let's come to this angle because you can see better. His front line is 2 Persian bows, backed by 2 Armenian slingers with, let's see, 4 Armenian spears on one side and 4 Sogdian warriors on the other, and he has a general or another Persian skirmisher, so he has plenty of skirmishing power. His general is a Persian noble, and he has 4 Persian mounted warriors, and if you see, the chevrons on these things are insane. He upped them all the way to triple silver chevron. Alright, so I'm probably gonna fast forward this part. It was just jockeying for position. He didn't want to move at all. He was in a defensive formation. So it took me a while to move my way up there because I didn't want to exhaust my units. At this point, he starts bringing some of his spears as well as slingers and skirmishers to back up his cav here. Again, I kind of brought these horse hewers to see how they did against enemy cav. So let's go and see what they do. At this point, again, I'm just slowly moving forward to see what he does with his infantry, and really he's starting to pull all of his immortals. Oh, he has immortals too. Immortals and Armenian spears to the side with my cav on it. I go ahead and put them in diamond formation and start charging his cav because he just left him out in the open here. So I get 2 units into that cav there, and we just start exchanging charges right here. And the cav battle that is normal of Attila goes on right now. Yeah, see, I think that hooked weapon, they just grab the horse and pull it down. It's quite interesting. And if you see, they're just slowly taking down horse after horse. And they rout that unit, which leaves my Germanic horses to start chasing down some skirmishers. Yeah, so they do pretty dang good damage against enemy horses, even those that are severely chevroned up. So at this point, I pretty much decimated his cav. He pulled his general back out of fear of being destroyed as well. Unfortunately, I'm starting to lose horses to skirmishers, as well as these Armenian and spears and elite nobles, or elite immortals. I keep saying nobles. Sorry about that. Alright, so now at this point, I think I start moving my line up. Yeah, so at this point they have close to 100 kills combined on enemy horses. For such a cheap unit, that is a good trade-off, because horses are so devastating in this game. The quicker you can get them dealt with, the better. Go ahead and fast forward again. So the cav fight is over, and time to move on to the infantry fight. So again, like I said towards the beginning of the video, I like to line my front line with the cheapest bows I can really get to try to bait the enemy into charging them. Or in this case, just to exchange fire for now. Alright, start moving forward a little bit. All this time, his tons of skirmishers have been trying to get at my cav. As you can see, he's slowly destroying that unit there. He routed another with these skirmishers back here. But at this point, I'm going to start swinging it around to come after his other skirmishers. And I figured once I could get the front line engaged, I can bring this unit to start coming after his skirmishers as well. So speeding it up again. I'm starting to try to chase down his crossbow cav as well as his general pretty soon here with these horse hewers.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
And then I was able to get into some of his slingers with my horse hewers there to try to silence those guys. And then since my opponent didn't really want to do anything, I YOLO'd my archers into his infantry to stop them from charging, which allowed me to get the charge in. So these young wolves have a charge bonus of 32, which is good. And then that's when I was able to bring in my Godensmen, which are devastating units. The only issue you have to be careful is if they go berserk, which is not a bad thing. They'll still attack the enemy, but you can't control where they're going to attack. And then I just left my general in the very far back, because if he gets killed, I will start losing units, which I did not want to do. Alright, and then he made the mistake of letting his crossbow cav get caught here by 2 units of horse hewers. And then there they go, they just start falling. See right there, he just dropped 3, or I just dropped 3 units like that, 4 units. So that was a beautiful thing. And as it said, my berserkers, my Godensmen went berserk, and I couldn't control them any longer, which is okay. They still went after the nearest enemy possible. And they are pretty devastating units. Even charging into the front of spears, they are able to break the formation and just start tearing them apart. So basically they're just mob attacking right now because I can't control my Godensmen, and the only ones I can control are my young wolves, so it's just blob attacks right now.
Enemy forces have destroyed an entire unit. The tide of battle turns in our favor.
So yeah, at this point it's just basically mop up. Pretty soon is when we call a good game, because basically we're just devastating them right now. I believe he was able to destroy the horse hewers finally with his elite I can't say it, guys. Elite immortals. There we go. Alright, these guys have their backs to us, so they are going to get destroyed. I say the Godensmen have an awesome charge there. I don't know if you guys could really see it because, again, really bad map, poor lighting. They straight up charge. The way that they charge is they just run into somebody, knock them over, and kill them, which is really cool. Alright, let's turn this way for better lighting. So yeah, so at this point I'm just waiting for the Persian noble to rout to end the game. And he is absolutely surrounded, so it's pretty much over for him. So yeah, it was a real exciting battle. Again, sorry for the really bad lighting. I know when I first got on I was like, holy cow, how can I see? It was impossible. But it was an exciting battle. I got to try a few new units, so horse hewers as well as the Godensmen. So let's actually go and see how they did. Alright, so the horse hewers combined got about 200 kills. I want to say probably about 120 of them were against the enemy cavalry, which is fantastic because enemy cav, as you know, can be devastating if they can get a charge in. So taking out 120 of them, which is basically a full unit, is amazing, especially for such a cheap unit. My general, obviously, I kept in the back, so he didn't do anything. These young wolves were basically my front line, so that's okay that they didn't get a tremendous amount of kills. That wasn't their point. It was mostly just to engage the enemy and hold them for my Godensmen, who did amazing. This one 169, this one 186. These two not as well, but all combined I want to say about 600 kills. These archers were just meant as bait, so they weren't going to get a lot of kills. And then my cav, hit and miss. This one 211, this one 114. The rest not so much. They were probably destroyed mostly by slinger fire and archer fire, which is unfortunate. But they did their job. They got the enemy cav off the field as quickly as they could. Looking at my opponent, this one elite immortal did tremendous, but if I'm not mistaken, he did it against horse hewers, which aren't a good defensive unit, which makes absolute sense. His general did alright. His Armenian spears not so much. None of his warriors did fantastic. They did okay, but again, once my Godensmen got in there, they absolutely destroyed them. Their archers got a good number of kills, but most of it was against my own archers, which have no armor at all. The slingers got some, I want to say they probably got quite a bit of cav kill out of that, which is not bad. Same thing with these skirmishers. His cav got absolutely destroyed, which was what I was looking for. Unfortunately, his crossbow cav destroyed quite a bit of units, some on my cav, some on my infantry, because I couldn't get to them soon enough. Alright, so that is the Langobards, my first online gameplay as them. Really fun units to play as. Those horse hewers can be very useful in the right situations, and those Godensmen, they just, I don't even know how to explain it. As long as you don't get them caught by too much crossbow fire and things like that, they will destroy whole units in the matter of seconds. So great units to play as. So with that said, I want to say thank you for everyone for watching, and definitely keep an eye out for my Langobards campaign, my Geats campaign, and any other gameplay I put up. So take care, guys.